Hello everyone and welcome to week 10. I hope that your persuasive essays are coming along well, and I wanted to give you just one more resource this week to help you as you finalize your papers before submission. What we're looking at here is a proofreading checklist for your essays, and there are I think about 13 steps here that you want to walk through and make sure that you've checked your paper over for. But right now I want to talk about just three main categories, and that is formatting, structure, and technical. For formatting, we want to make sure that your entire paper is double-spaced, using MLA style heading, and an MLA style works cited page at the end. For structure, we want to make sure that you start with a clear beginning, have a middle, and then an end. In the beginning, or your introduction, you want to make sure that a clear thesis statement appears there. And if you remember a little bit from our previous lessons where we learned about thesis statements, you want to include a topic, an opinion, and a why or a how in your thesis statement. The more specific your thesis is, the more clear your paper will be as it goes back to that thesis and supports that claim. Now, let's move on a little bit to the structure of the rest of your paper. Each of your body paragraphs should tie directly back to that thesis statement. This is where your support and your evidence will be shown. As you go back to that claim and support it with logic or emotional appeal or ethical appeal. We've learned a little bit about those in our last lessons, but if you aren't clear on them or if you're not sure how to use a combination of those, you're welcome to reach out to me anytime. I'd love to talk to you and help you. Now let's go ahead and move on again to the technical aspects that we're editing for. This will include punctuation, capitalization, spelling, all of those kind of comma placement, those technical aspects with grammar and writing. I have a few examples here on this worksheet that'll help you look for spelling, but just try to remember all of the rules that we've learned about comma placement and the Oxford comma, all of those things. Now this is kind of a lower order concern. You want to make sure that your structure and everything is addressed first, then at the end go through one final read through and make sure that there are no little errors that you are able to catch. Sometimes reading your paper out loud is the best way to catch these errors, because you'll notice that as there's a comma, you'll have a pause, and if there's a natural pause but no comma, you'll be able to put it together and see that, something's not quite right here. Now, for your conclusion, this is going back to structure a little bit, you want to make sure that you are echoing your thesis. You do not have to copy and paste, but you want to restate kind of in a fresh way what your thesis was. Bring it back to that claim so that there's a nice symmetry to your paper. And then you want to end in a meaningful or impactful way. Sometimes this is a quote, sometimes this is a call to action, whatever you feel will be most effective for your paper, but make sure that it's impactful. And lastly, for formatting, your works cited page comes at the end. Now, there are lots of helps on Purdue OWL, and I'm more than willing to work with you if you're not quite sure about your works cited page. I can tell you a couple of helpful hints. You want to make sure that all of your citations are listed in alphabetical order, and you want to make sure that the first line of the page says works cited, centered on that top line. The whole page is double-spaced, and you want to use a hanging indentation, which means the first line of your citation stays all the way flush with the left margin, and the subsequent lines are moved over ½ inch. It's almost a complete reverse of normal indentation. If you do these things, your paper will be looking very sharp and you'll be ready for submission. I hope this helps, and as I said before, I will be sending this resource out to you later today so that you have it for your final proofread before you're able to submit your paper. I hope that this is helpful, and as always, please feel free to reach out to me with any questions or concerns that you may have. I hope you have a wonderful week. Good luck with your papers.